Hey Hawks, how you doing? My name is Mr. Bedard. I'm the middle school SOSA. And when I was in school, I really struggled with math. I failed Algebra 1 and 2, and I needed to get a tutor. I had to advocate for myself, get that help that I needed so I could be successful and eventually pass the class.
And go on, Mr. Fernandez. I am the high school SOSA. So for me, when I was in high school, the class I had trouble with was English in 12th grade. For whatever reason, I just couldn't make it click. It was a bit harder for me. So to be able to get through that class, I did need to stay after school, meet up with my teacher, go to see her when I had time during the day. And luckily with her help, I was able to really get through it. And then that actually made me a better writer for when I got to college afterwards.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gu. I teach geosystems here at Hayfield. I repeated the 11th grade because I wasn't focused on helping myself to succeed and do well in school. But when I repeated, I really focused on self-advocating, finding help from my teachers, and seeking that help to do well. And I really did after that. Please find me in 1324 if you have any questions. But for you, I really recommend finding that safe space to talk to your teachers to help you do well in school.
Hey Hawks, it's Mr. Fitzgerald here, the after school specialist at Hayfield. I'm here to tell you that, I struggled myself in school, behavior-wise and also with reading and literacy. I was late to reading. Some teachers would say that I was probably struggled putting context clues and all that literacy terms that I still don't even know today, to be honest with you. Definitely dyslexia, struggled with that, so sometimes I would switch up the letters and stuff. But knowing that, my parents really forced me to read every night, do spelling tests every night. Even though I didn't like it, I knew that I needed it. And even to this day, if I don't know a word, I always look it up after having a conversation with someone because we're always growing, right? So if you're out there, you struggle like me, struggle reading, it's okay. Just make sure you go home, work on it, read every night, do some spelling tests on your own, and you'll hopefully turn out better than me. All pride.
Hi, I'm Julie Riley. I teach chemistry on the high school side. I also teach AP chemistry and AP research. And my story of failure is from college. I thought I was going to be a medical student, decided to take business instead, and senior year finance was the death of me. I didn't just fail the class, I think I failed every single assignment in the class. And I couldn't understand how somebody could do so well in organic chemistry and bomb at finance. But the reality is you're not going to be good at everything. You are going to fail at some point in your life, and you got to be okay with it. You got to be comfortable with it, and be able to pick yourself up. Failure is part of learning. If you knew everything to begin with, you wouldn't be learning. So keep it up, and if anybody's really good at finance, come see me. I still would like to figure it out. Thanks.
Hey guys, it's Ms. Cottums. I teach AP World and World History 2. One of the things that I struggled with when I was in school was math. I was not good at math, and we actually didn't have interventions for those like me who struggled in math. But I did have one teacher who took the time out to meet with me after school, and I think it's really important to connect with your teachers, to get that extra help. Sometimes it feels like more of a burden, but I promise you in the end it's always going to be worth it. So good luck, guys.
Good morning, Hawks. It's Mr. Mao, your acting principal. Just want to share with you, as we encourage all our students to seek support. When I was in school, I was a successful student, but not in every way. And one of the ways in which I struggled was in advanced math classes. It's not something that was natural for me. And so one of the great tools that I utilized was getting support from my peers. I found that to be the most useful. I got help from my friends who were better at that stuff than I, and that helped me find success.
I am Mrs. Paul, and I teach math and economics and personal finance. Throughout school, elementary through master's degree, I always needed extra time to learn math and science. But what allowed me to be successful was utilizing all of my resources. Sometimes that meant coming in early or staying late with the teacher, as well as forming study groups. And especially on the college level, utilizing those office hours that no one really uses to meet with the TA or to meet with the professor. So just utilize all the resources and you will see a change.
Hi, Hayfield Hawks. This is Miss Black. If you're a student of mine in my chemistry class, you've heard this story already, but I just wanted to put it out there for everyone. I struggled in math, specifically Algebra 2, when I was in high school. Failed it, had to take summer school. If you would have asked my math teacher if I would have ever been good for anything math related in the future, I'm sure she would have said no, but actually I ended up studying chemistry. I'm a chemistry teacher. That's really math heavy. I minored in math. So persevere. Just because you're not successful at something at first doesn't mean that you can't regroup and, you know, take it to the stars. So keep working hard.
I'm Ms. Long and I teach English on the high school side. When I was in high school, I really struggled with math. I got through algebra okay, but when I took geometry, it was really difficult for me. In fact, I failed the first year that I took it. The next year, I took geometry with the same teacher, and she said if I stayed after school and maybe came in early a couple of days a week, she would tutor me and she would help me to learn the geometry so that I could pass it. And that's what I did, and that's how I got through geometry when I was in high school.
Good morning, Hawks. My name is Matt Brado. I am new security here at this school. I'm happy to be here. Just a little bit about me. I had some struggles growing up in school. I had an IEP for speech and language. I had trouble with dyslexia, minor dyslexia with reading, which means letters get jumbled. And I also had a severe stutter. So I went to a speech pathologist for first grade through sophomore year of college. It's about 17, 18 years. And through all those support staff, I was able to graduate high school, college, and go into grad school and get a job. So we all have challenges in life, but the goal is we're here to help, and I had help, so now I want to help you all.
Hi, my name is Dr. Janine Chase Harris, and I am a geometry and AFTA teacher. I think one of my difficultest times in my high school career, I would say, was that I failed geometry 3 times. And if Mr. Hines could see me now, he'd be so proud, because I am a geometry teacher now. Go figure. I struggled with the formulas. I struggled getting homework turned in. If I could cut corners, I would. I took it at summer school. I took the after-school program, and finally I passed it, of all places, the community college. I went and took it, and they allowed me to use that credit so I could finally pass geometry. Was it hard? Yes, it was. But I learned a lot of skills. I learned what I could do, and I use those skills in my everyday life still today.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Sieber. I teach English 11 and 12, and I teach biology. Going through school, I really struggled with my Algebra 1. I ended up being tutored by a guy in my class who was really good at it. I ended up passing with a C, and I got a date to the prom out of it. So stick with it. Not only can you get through the course and learn, you might also find love.
Hola, I'm Senora Bush. I teach Spanish, and one of the biggest challenges I faced in high school was my AP Calculus class my senior year. In high school, I was good at geometry, and then after that, I never felt like I was strong enough in the more advanced levels. And so my senior year, I really tried. It was so hard. I went to study groups. I think that I really tried to listen in class and even ask questions. I know I could have done a little bit more, like ask the teacher, hey, can I sit closer to the front? Or maybe not talk with my neighbor as much as I did sometimes. But overall, I did put in effort, and I even, one quarter, I got the Perseverance Character Award. So I felt proud of that, but in the end, I actually did end up with an F in AP Calculus on my report card. My students know this. But there's no shame for me in that, because I learned a lot. I learned that it didn't break me, it didn't define who I was. I was able to go on to a good college, have an excellent college career, do so many things, go on to get jobs that I wanted and applied for, and travel to different places. And so in the end, I'm actually grateful now that I had that experience, because I can relate to a lot of students that way. And it just, you know, it's what you do with your setbacks or your failures and know that it won't break you.
Hello, I'm Officer Grace, Fairfax County Police Department. I'm the school resource officer on the high school side. And when I was in high school, I struggled with algebra. In fact, I had to take night school and summer school in order to pass it to graduate on time. But I got through it, and now I'm a police officer.
Hi, I'm Miss Natal. I'm one of the SBITs here at Hayfield Secondary, and I was really good at math in elementary school, but when I went to high school, I had a hard time with geometry. But I got some help from my teacher, some from other teachers in the building, and I ended up graduating with calculus on my resume. So you can get through it.
Hi everyone, I'm Coach Abella. I am one of the security specialists here at Hayfield, and I also coach the JV basketball team. When I was in school here at Hayfield and elementary school as well at Hayfield, one of my struggles was that Spanish is my first language, and I struggled with the reading component, so I was a little bit timid, shy, didn't have classes that supported me on that, so that took me a while to kind of get my confidence, but sure enough, I was able to, and here I am.